on this rap-ish. I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list. Hope I ain't missing my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues. Guess if you ain't at the table, you on the menu. And I'm that spitter, baby. They don't want you to see, but everybody's south of Capitol Hill's rocking with me. Boys smoke the trays and ponder getting their life together. I'm comfortable with my role, so I'm like, whatever. I ain't got a job, but I work hard. And you don't work hard, but you got a job. The irony is I'm judged while you feel the applause. I'm slept on, that's why I had to set this alarm. My dudes is armed, I'm armed with this arm charm. Body banging like she got that cream from Barry Bonds. Yeah.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
That Dre season is here, a real hitter with a mic, I'm everything that they fear. With that, hood ain't the same, I was all on their ass, I'm level-headed. So yo, my dudes love when I spaz, and I'm so over Seattle's passive-aggressive attitude. They don't call you back, what they really saying is F you. While I'm from the same place, I move at a different pace. I prefer if you just said it to my face, damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Average dudes with they average spit, writing average rhymes, knocking average chicks. The closer I get, I can feel the people starting to shift. I'm loyal to a fault, and everybody can't come with. Rap's a rich man's game, I'm only playing with change. They bang models and singers, I'm knocking my old flame, I'm different. The crowd, I move with the chosen few. Black thoughts, I could be the front man for the roots. No diamonds and gold, I'm on my sticks and stones. If we can see your panty line, you should have on a thong. My team is strong, through this fire we forged a bond. And they already know what it is when I get on. To the hearse, party like it's December 31st. When I'm on my deathbed, I probably cracking my nurse. You ain't got the bars to compete. I'm a verbal athlete, deflating these boys so they say that I cheat. Damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Yeah. I should probably start by apologizing for the long wait, man. You know, I know I be tripping. But I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. And, you know, my creative process is a little bit different than most. Nonetheless, I want to welcome everybody out to the Dre's Experience. I got TCF in the building. My whole camp's here with me. I got the band in here laying this cool-ass vibe. And I'm Seattle's own. Let's get into it.
I say to you, community, let's take up space. We weren't supposed to make it through the vast Atlantic or back to the door of no return. So shine like the gold in our skin and the first porch light ever lit. 'Cause we lit and we stay lit. It is with love that everything we touch is ablaze with brilliance. We made jazz and had the blues so hard we're still nodding our heads, but this time we sampled What a Wonderful World. What a way to escape the pain and revel in joy. To the Marsha P. Johnsons who woke up our pride. To the Jimi Hendrix who burned his guitar. For the tennis-playing sisters, for those who didn't make it. And I promise not to fake it. We still want our 40 acres, a mule, and reparations. To the barbers and stylists who still carry on tradition. For the laughter through the tough times, the dead and the living that we hold sacred. To be a people who built empires out of sticks and stones and turned the names they called us into songs. We are still here.
Grand Rising and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. Happy Monday. Happy 2022. Happy January to all of y'all out there. I am your co-host, Trey Holiday, and I'm so grateful to be back into the studio with my co-host with the most, as always, Mr. Big O. What up, Big O?
Trey Holiday.
Hey, what's going on, my friend?
Man, I'm so excited. I was telling you, I said I'm ready to do the show standing up.
Right.
You know,
I remember when we used to.
We did. Huh? Oh man, Happy New Year, Trey.
Yeah, Happy New Year, my guy. How are you, man?
Man, I'm very fantastic. It's great to be back here in the Black Media Matters studio. You know, December 24th, our last show here, we literally unplugged everything here. We're like, man, it was a good, well-needed break. But I am super excited to be back after it for 2022.
You know what? You and me both, my friend. I tell you, nice rest over the break. And it's like I woke up this morning with so much energy, just ready to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm one of these people, man, always optimistic. The glass is always half full. So I'm very excited about this new year. Today, talking about a few things. One of the biggest things that we're talking about is it's the first day on the job for Mayor Harrell. Mayor Harrell, he has his key priorities for the city. He's also made his appointments and I guess ready to rock. So we'll discuss that and discuss his larger plans for the city as a whole, and then also talk about our community and where we fit in there. That being said, though, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Morning Update Show. I want to remind you that right now is a perfect opportunity for you to tag and share the stream. Go ahead and tag and share this stream right here with people who you feel would appreciate culturally relevant news and information emanating from right here in the rainy Emerald City. Want to give a big shout out to our partners over at the South Seattle Emerald and also KBCS 91.3 over at Bellevue College. Remind everybody that you can listen to the Morning Update Show anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. Salman's putting SoundCloud in the links right over there, but you can also go to Spotify, Google, iTunes, anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network. You know, COVID, Omicron. It dominated a good part of the news, and it's still dominating the news right now. But if you're right here in Seattle and Martin Luther King County, we're putting a link in the comments. If you want to get vaccinated, if you need a booster shot, if you want to find testing, or if you have questions and concerns, and it's a lot of people with more questions and concerns as COVID continues to progress.
Yeah, I mean, now we have folks that are in the middle needing their second dose, people needing boosters, people, you know, now ages 5 to 11 can get it, 12 plus, obviously, but there's a wide range of folks that are still maybe, you know, questioning all of this, man, especially as these variants roll out.
Yeah, and over in Israel, I was watching this morning, they're talking about giving a 4th shot over there. And so, as you can imagine, there is a community out there that's hesitant. So we want to be able to leave some space and grace and conversation with them. And it's the new year now. So I'm going to reach out to our friends over there at Public Health and see if we can get the big dog, Dr. Duchin, over here on the Morning Update Show. And we can talk about some of the concerns that people have. But if you're ready to move forward, like I said, click that link right there for vaccination, booster shots, and testing locations. And no school today for a lot of people in Seattle, in the state's biggest school district right here, Seattle Public Schools. There was testing yesterday and today, testing at 12 different locations across the city.
Hey, look, I'll tell you this. I know the Federal Way School District, they've been doing testing throughout the break. There was these pop-up sites for not just testing, but also for vaccination. So again, they're trying to be as widespread as they possibly can. I think this is something where we're seeing a lot of, you know, solutions trying to pop up just to try to figure out how to get a good handle on this.
Yeah. You know, it's difficult. And the way that this variant and everything is spreading, and people are going to different kind of models now, different school districts, where before, if there was an outbreak, they would close down the whole school or send the whole class home. And now they're trying to rely more on testing. And testing, my friend, is an issue. And it's a lot of people, you know, they're pointing the finger back at the federal government. It's like, yo, man, where to test at? And testing in some places hours and hours. Yesterday, people wanted to get tested at the Seattle Public School site. Someone waited in line 4 hours for testing. In different parts of the country, people are sending the kids home with rapid tests and everything else. But school should resume is what they're saying. We'll see what these test results are saying, but school should resume tomorrow.
Well, it's really interesting, because I think as this information is rolling out, we're understanding the difference between the rapid test, getting an antigen test, seeing if you have antibodies. There's a lot of information that's out there. And so again, click on these resources, educate yourself as much as you can. I feel like, we're on a kind of a race, because we're all trying to figure out the best way to protect ourselves, our family, especially the kids right now that are in school together. So I know I'm seeing some innovative ways where it's like, hey, even if you have symptoms, with you even having a negative PCR test, a rapid test, they're still sending you home. They're like, no, go get the whole antigen test. We want to make sure you don't have COVID. So there's a lot of, again, solutions popping up.
Yeah, COVID is definitely still at play. All right. So we got a few things here. I think that, of course, we looked at 2021 in the rearview mirror, and we made our New Year's resolutions for this new year. We'll go ahead and put yours up first.
Yes, for me, my biggest resolutions are number one, to elevate spiritually. It is something that I'm constantly working on, and because we're talking about our community, to deepen my impact in community this year is a big one for me as well. Also, constantly working on expanding my reach in media with Converge, with King County Equity Now. The work that I do is, the way it's received in community always gives me a boost, and so I'm thinking about that next generation. And that really leads me to the fourth resolution of being an integral asset to building the creative economy in Washington State. There's a lot of opportunities right now. We got the Soundstage Studios in Harbor Island. We have a lot of great rollout programs that are happening around creative economy, and getting young people to understand that they don't have to leave Washington State if they're trying to do something in the creative field. So it's huge for me.
All right, good stuff. Those are great resolutions, Trey.
Thank you.
And I stand in support of making those a reality.
Right on.
All right. So for me, here's the big O's resolutions right here. First, I've been listening to all of our viewers and supporters. And so number one, to take better care of myself mentally and physically. That's definitely number one, man. I've been neglecting myself all the way around, so it takes some time for that. Number two, spend more time with my kids and my parents. These are my treasures. I definitely want to spend more time with them. Number three, develop Converge Media's global network and our No Excuses hiring platform. And number four, to score more victories for humanity.
Hey, there we go. When I saw these resolutions, I said, that's in a nutshell. I love it, man. And like you said, I'm in support of these amazing resolutions, my friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody the energy is good in here. You know what I'm saying? It is good. We're definitely off to a great start here. Speaking of a great start, this comes over to us. This is the Youth Achievement Center, the YAC. We got a tweet right here from Council Member Girmay Zahalai. Here it is. They said, today, the Seahawks presented our coalition with a check for $500,000 to support our efforts to build more housing and supportive services for housing unstable youth in our region. Thank you. That's from the council member. $500,000 from the Seahawks scored 51 points yesterday. So I said they won big on the field. It looks like they're winning big in community.
Well, you know what? This is an amazing way to make a great impact. The Youth Achievement Center is like no other type of development project. And I love that the Seahawks in particular have really shown an interest in our young people. I mean, these are young folks that are integral in the entire development process of this project. They said, this is what we need. And now people are pouring the money in to make it a reality. Just a beautiful story all around. Congrats, Seahawks. And great job for you guys to be making sure you're making a real impact in our community.
Yeah, the Seahawks are setting the bar. You know, we got lots of other pro teams here in Seattle. You know what I'm saying? Big money teams too. So YAC presents an opportunity for you to show up big for community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trey, you know, we grew up in the CD.
All right.
And right next to the CD is the CID.
Yes.
You know, we've been very Asian our whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yo, so this is wild right here. This is we got a video right here. Michelle Lee. She used to be over at King 5. Now she's out in St. Louis. And man, she was talking about what people eat for New Year's. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, some of the things she talked about, and she threw in there. She was like, yo, I eat dumplings. This is big, you know, with Koreans. New Year's, that's our tradition. And man, she got a foul voicemail. We'll play this right now.
Hi, this evening your Asian anchor mentioned something about being Asian and Asian people eat dumplings on New Year's Day, and kind of take offense to that, because what if one of your white anchors said, well, white people eat this on New Year's Day? I don't think it was appropriate that she said that, and she was being very Asian, and I don't know. She can keep her Korean to herself. All right, sorry, it was annoying. Because if a white person would say that, they would get fired. So say something about what white people eat. So, all right, thank you.
Wait, I mean, okay, look here. This is when it goes a bit too far. Michelle Lee, you were absolutely correct to be able to share your own tradition. And as Omari said, we are surrounded by Asian culture here up in the Pacific Northwest. And honestly, we're better for it. I mean, there's a wide range of cuisine we have access to. There's another culture out there that we get to learn and build off of and learn from and share our culture with them. It's like a cultural exchange happening right here. So the truth of the matter is that this is when the comments go too far. Oh, I mean, seriously.
Well, listen, I'm gonna put it to you like this. It's Converge Media. We're here in the Black Media Matters studio. We're serving the legacy Black community in Seattle and beyond. And I'll say variation, you know. And I mean, the bigger thing too is that what people don't understand is you got a lot of people out there who think that unless something is a white tradition, that it's not American. You know what I'm saying? Michelle is American and her traditions are American, just like our traditions are American. And this is what we see right now across America is literally a whitewashing of anything that's different. You know what I'm saying? These traditions are part and parcel of our country. You know, and to exclude and say like, well, that's something. Nah, man. You know, I mean, that's the thing about America. Either willingly or unwillingly, people came here with their traditions, and these traditions have become America's traditions.
You know what? You're right. Oh, that is the foundation of why people say, you know, America has the opportunity to be so great, because there is a mix of culture here. And it's been that way since the beginning. I mean, when you think about the ways that they enticed people to even come over here that had the choice, as you said, so much of it was about coming here to make a better life for yourself, coming from your homeland and making this your home. That was a huge part of all of the marketing that made America such a blended salad, as I love to say. Not a melting pot, melting ourselves together, but an amazing salad full of individual ingredients that can really have the opportunity to make us great. And you know what? I mean, I don't know about you, but I know plenty of Black households that what we do on New Year's is Black Eyed Peas. I mean, so I'm just saying, we all have our things, man.
Hey, what I'm saying is this: is that, like, you know, chitlins is also chitterlings is also part of New Year tradition in so many households, and that's American as well. You know, we need to be real cautious of what we see here, because so many cultures and people and traditions and ideas and everything else, man, very much being whitewashed. And, you know, like this tweet there, man, this went like super viral. And I'm glad to see people, like, you know, pushing back, because there's already a real intentional attempt to erase the contributions of different people and different ethnicities, and so it's very important. And I'm very glad that she tweeted this out.
Last thing I really want to say here is that when you talk about a whitewashing, it's real, and unfortunately, we still have a large portion, I think, of the population in America that if you're not centering whiteness, there is a high propensity for white folks to be offended. And at the end of the day, I think that that's something that I'm glad folks are pushing back on as well, because everything isn't about what may be okay and acceptable to everyone else. I think what makes us great and what makes us the opportunity to be great. I always say opportunity because I don't think we're there yet. But what really makes that opportunity possible is for all of us to share. And so again, I think this centering of whiteness is something that we've seen throughout this country many decades and generations. And I love that people are actually pushing back on that.
Yeah, good stuff. Oh, and by the way, Michelle, like I said, here in the Black Media Matters studio, man, we're very Asian, especially when it comes to food. So next time you're in Seattle, please stop by and bring some dumplings.
Right.
We with it. All right, moving forward. So man, it was some big names that transitioned to the other side since the last time that we were on air. We'll go with Betty White first. Go ahead and put this up here, Salman. Oh, that's Desmond Tutu. Let's go ahead and put up Betty White. Well, no problem. Betty White right there. Man, 99 years old, not too far from her 100th birthday. And I got a quote up here. I just make it my business to get along with people so I can have fun. It's that simple.
You know what? I got to say, I agree 100% with this quote from Betty White, but also what a legacy. I mean, you're talking about somebody who has been in the entertainment industry for 8 decades. And the ideas that, she was able to bring her greatness and that spirit to so many different sets, so many different people. I mean, when Betty White passed, you could see all throughout social media all types of people sharing their special moments with Betty White. It was like a real waterfall of Betty Whiteness. I just got to say, it was beautiful because you had Snoop Dogg, you had Ced the Entertainer, there were so many people who was like, man, this is my moment with Betty White. Like, she came over here, she did this with me. And, the quote really sums up so much of, I think, her legacy. And to be honest, it's something I take along with me too. So kudos to Betty White and what an amazing legacy.
All right. Another one here. We'll put the slide up. Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Man, what a giant. It said, don't raise your voice, improve your argument. And this is my dad has sent me that quote. Man, Desmond Tutu, you know what's amazing, right? Is that when you talk about people passing and over the last few years, that some of the giants that's made the whole world pause come from the continent of Africa. Nelson Mandela, now Desmond Tutu. Man, just what a voice, a consistent voice, for what's right and what's just. Man, and a big loss not only for South Africa but for the world.
No, you're absolutely right. Again, you're talking about somebody who's made such a major impact on the world. And I'll go back to his quote as well. They always say, if you see two people in an argument, you can't tell which one, they both look like they're at the same level. And I think he's absolutely right. Make sure that you know what you're talking about and do it in a way that is impactful. It's something that he definitely laid a legacy. And you know what? You're right. Oh, what an amazing impact on the world.
All right, we're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Mayor Harrell. Today is third day on the job. We're going to be talking about Mayor Harrell, his administration and key priorities. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here, and before heading to Belize, Trey Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable.
We invite you to be our guest at Disney's Beauty and the Beast. It's a tale as old as time in a brand new production by the Fifth Avenue Theater. Return to the magic of live theater with one of the most enchanting musicals of all time. Disney's Beauty and the Beast at the Fifth, January 12th to February 6th. Tickets at fifthavenue.org.
These hands bear fruit and witness through muscle and memory to that which cannot be taught. Passing down the blueprint of flowers and wringing waters from the root, bringing nourishment to the masses. There is no grade that can attain the heat that we sustain. A path unclear to most, and still we press on. We flip survival into revival again and again. Be reminded of what you come from, for life is the foundation of every generation.
Man, welcome back to the Morning Update Show. Ready to go back to Belize, huh?
Hey, let me tell you, man, there's something so special about these pieces coming from our time in Belize. I'm just excited. And that is one that was so well put together. Oh my gosh. I got to say, shout out to Brady. Shout out to T-Dub. Amazing.
Yeah, no, good stuff there. All right. So here it is. Showtime. We got a new mayor. Mayor Bruce Harrell, sworn in private ceremony on the first, and they're supposed to be doing something, some kind of a smaller public ceremony going on. Ceremony to the side, though, man. It's time to get to work. Let's go ahead and put this slide up here, Salman. So, Mayor Harrell says key priorities: homelessness, public safety, and COVID recovery, amongst other things. The mayor of the city, it's a long list of things to be able to attack. But what the mayor is saying is number one on the list is I guess number one, maybe all three at the same time, but homelessness. And, it's clearly a big issue here in the city of Seattle and the region. It's not an issue that anybody's been able to quite get a hold on thus far. But Harold's saying that he has a plan to be able to, with passion, be able to address the homelessness problem here in the city.
You know, this is for any elected official. It's like you heard what they said during the campaign trail. You have your own ideas based on maybe their history. And, Harold has a history of being in the Seattle City Council. So there's some people that look at the way that he voted and the way that he moved in and try to predict maybe how he will be as mayor. But, we'll see how all of this unfolds. I mean, homelessness has been such a major issue here in Seattle, but also in our region. When we think about the cost of living rising to an insurmountable amount, and living wages not always meeting the standard of what's necessary to have a solid life. And so we talk about the wide variety of homeless all the time. The idea is that we have a lot of living poor people that are poor. They work every day, but they still can't make their ends meet. This is going to be a huge challenge for any administration to take on.
Hello. And you know what? You just said something right there, Trey Holiday. And a lot of times here in Seattle, and we when we talk about homelessness, and we talk about the people that someone can see, even right here on First Avenue, that we can see. And, there are so many unhoused people here. There's so many people, the working poor. And when we talk about poor people in our city, when we talk about poor people nationally, people tend to think poor equals lazy, poor equals not trying hard. And we got people out here giving their level best every day, keeping on to just keep on. And they're living in a state of poverty, right? And this is something that when we talk about, and we have so much people have so much concern, which they should, of the visible, unsheltered, and homeless here. But there's a larger issue in our city of people who are poor people. And you get people say things like, oh, well, they just need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. My friend, there's so many people in our community who don't have shoes, and we need to recognize that, yes, this American dream is there. There's people, we see it, and they talk about the American dream, and you work hard and everything else, and we've seen it. But we also need to recognize that, man, there's a number of poor people in our city and in our country where that dream has passed them by.
No, absolutely. Oh, and this is why I think, you're so right, because you talk about the visibly homeless, and we understand that there's a wide range of perspectives out there. We have seen it play out in this city. We have seen it play out in cities that are close to us. When we talk about the ways that other cities that seem well off and how they're dealing with homelessness, Renton even, they voted in their city council to not have the hotel become a shelter. We see Mercer Island and the way that they were finding people that were sleeping in their cars. I mean, when we talk about the compassion, you mentioned compassion a lot. And I think that this is an issue that needs so much compassion. People need to understand that just because they don't have that lived experience to be able to understand where people are coming from that are dealing with homelessness. We just dealt with a whole snowstorm out here, and people are out there freezing. At the end of the day, this is going to take a really strong approach.
Right. And I just hope that the mayor's approach isn't just, let's move these people, that's a good thing. They need housing. That's the visible. But you know what? There's a constant pipeline of people who are, they're on the edge. They're on the edge. Do you know how many people? It's the first of the month. Do you know how many people are sitting there trying to figure out, is it the light bill? How am I going to go and grocery shop? I can't afford gas. All these just real life things. There's so many working poor out there. And when people talk about shelters, see, this is the thing is like this conversation around homelessness in Seattle has just really been boiled down to visible, to, there's some tents in my neighborhood. But you don't understand how many people, it was a run of bad luck. They lost their job. Bad situation. Might have been in an abusive relationship. There's so many things that put people on the edge of homelessness. There's so many things that put people just needing a break. And when we talk about this, it's overlooked. And those are the people who are one step. And believe me, it's a lot of people. I sit down there, I talk to these guys. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people, when they hit the street, they wasn't addicted. But life on the street, they've stayed addicted, become addictive and stayed addicted. There's so many issues that multiply. And I'm just hopeful that our city can really take a look at this issue here around the homeless and the unhoused, and also realize here there's an issue around poverty, and we need to stop making poor people the enemy. We need to stop making poor people the bad guy. It's not a crime to be poor. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many people, I know, Trey, who just work so hard.
Yeah, come on. This is exactly why a real strong approach around homelessness has to include economics in this city. You have to start thinking about the ways to have livable wage incomes and pipelines to get people into those jobs. At the end of the day, this is really not just about people sleeping on the street. This is about the fact that we have a city where we have such a large portion of the population that comes here, they're transplants, they're making hundreds and thousands of dollars, 100K plus a year. They're doing so well, but they push people out. And unfortunately, if we don't address it in a wide range way, where we are including, how to have pipelines for jobs, how to ensure that those jobs are sustainable, how to have treatment and recovery programs, because as you said, and as you mentioned, you are right, living on the street brings about sometimes the addictions. You have people that were prescribed drugs because of back pain, car accidents, all these other things, and they become addicted. This is stuff that a lot of research has been done. So now what are we going to do to bring that research into the solutions? And I want to say this too. We've talked about this before. If you are creating solutions around homelessness, you have to center the voices of those who are living on the streets, those who are in poverty, those who are one paycheck away from homelessness. If you don't center those voices in the solutions, you're also making a huge mistake. So I think all around, all of that needs to be happening simultaneously.
Yeah, I mean, and as a city, if we really want to be the city that we claim to be, that we aspire to be, then man, we got to find a way to uplift our poor people. I mean, we got to do better. It's a pipeline. That's what I'm saying. People don't understand. It's a pipeline in this city and in this region of people just on that edge. They're just on that. You just don't know. And so many people, they're so resilient. Got so much finesse, you don't even realize what they're going through. You don't even realize how these bills gonna get paid and everything else. And we give, as a city and even as a country, we give our hearts go out in prayers, just like we do with these shootings and everything else. We give our hearts go out in prayers to those essential workers who are on the front line of this and that, and realizing this guy has 3 jobs, 4 jobs. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, hey, we salute you. You're out there. But man, what can we really do? And so I hope that with Mayor Harrell coming into office, that his strategy is to really think in a much larger way. And, this issue in Seattle is bigger than the people that you see unhoused here on the streets. I say it here all the time. We all got a friend who, you don't even think about it. You don't connect the dots. Oh, it's just on somebody's couch. Oh, hey, I'm going to be in your neighborhood for a few weeks. Can I do this, that? Always, they don't never really say like, what, I'm homeless. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's so many people couch surfing, living in an automobile, getting it any way they can. And, we really need solid and tough solutions. And I mean, things need to change. But like I said, man, we need to really get away from really making poor people the bad guy. And we need to really get into that pipeline and stop that pipeline of people when you reach the streets, there's nothing else left for you. That was the last stop for you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, we're talking about pipelines, and it's important that, when we talk about giving a hand up instead of a hand out, when we talk about stopping the pipeline further up the pipeline, that's where these innovative solutions can really come into play. And Mayor Harrell has an opportunity to actually lead the nation with regard to homeless reform and really looking at it from this multi-pronged approach. That's all we can say here is that we'll see how it plays out. I think he's, trying to put some of the right people in key positions to really handle this. And again, there's a heavy job on all of them. So we understand that, but, we're here to see how it all rolls out.
Yeah. All right. The second priority is public safety. Public safety in our city means different things to different people. Some people it's just police. Some people it's overall safety and community. But public safety is high on Harrell's list, and building, I guess, for different communities. One is actual safety here on the street. Somebody got shot here 2 blocks away. Somebody got shot on New Year's Day. Then somebody got shot up there on 23rd and Union. I think yesterday, today, it's already, you know what I'm saying, popping up. But this area where we're at, it gets funky. We're right here next to Pioneer Square, and it gets funky down here for sure. So there is actual public safety. And then there's this relationship between the police department and community, which as well needs to be addressed. And, you know, Harold made all kinds of different statements about how we would go about forging better relationships between his police department now and community. But public safety was something that people from all over the different parts of the city said that was important to them. And so we'll see now how Harold's going to go about addressing it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an important issue. You know, another one that we breach here often on the Morning Update show, because we are so connected to so many of the families who have to deal with the outbreak of the rise in gun violence and are dealing with a lot of those shootings that happen. So the truth is that, again, I think when we talk about some of the solutions, we've talked about centering the voices of parents who have lost their children due to this rise in gun violence. We've talked about partnering with community groups. There's so many amazing groups out there that are really doing work, not just around prevention, but also looking at things up the pipeline and figuring out how to get people that are, you know, closest to the violence to now redirect their energies and do something different, giving them opportunities around livable wage incomes and all of that. We also talk about opportunities out here like the Build the Beach for Us by Us and the ideas that they have, an embed apprenticeship that allows for young people to come into this program and actually create a career for themselves. So there's so many different ways that the mayor and his administration can partner with some of these opportunities and organizations and programs that are out there on the ground to really think about this again in a holistic way. And for most of this stuff, a lot of it is basic things that need to be happening all simultaneously together while centering the voices of those that are the most impacted.
Yeah, so a few things there. You know, on her way out the door, Mayor Durkin connected with a different voice that hasn't really been heard. And this was a voice of a lot of the victims' families, especially we talk about the mamas here all the time. And Mayor Durkin seek to include them more into the conversation. So we'll see if Mayor Harold continues that relationship, and not only continues it, but amplifies it, because a lot of times we've seen the voice of victims are left out at every table. You know what I'm saying? And we want to make sure that voice is heard. And, you know, we also have to realize as well in this city is that people's journey around public safety is different depending upon what neighborhood you live in. You know, we've got some neighborhoods here in the city of Seattle where people, their whole life, they've had a great relationship with the police. And, you know, an officer might be a Little League coach or something else. You have other neighborhoods here where, man, that ain't been the case, you know. And, you know, it's important that the mayor can actually listen to these different, knowing that, I mean, for all of these different people, that's their true life experience here. And I think that oftentimes, at least in the political landscape, it's very polarizing, that it's either this or either that. And there's different needs of public safety around different parts of the city and even different communities. And even the approach is a little bit different. And we'll see what happens. You know, one thing for sure that Mayor Durkin was not able to do, at least in my opinion, was be able to start a process or at least finish a process of bringing the Seattle Police Department and a lot of different community people together. And I know the OIG has been working on some things. People are doing kind of some things, but, you know, I mean, there's still a rift there. Then also there's just the everyday situation that's out here. You know, people try to break into our studio several times. Got something for you, but they would try to break into our studio several times. It's like, it's real. You know what I'm saying? This crime out here is real. And people would be foolish, no matter why you're saying the reason, it would be foolish to say that it doesn't exist. It exists. My mama was attacked about 150, 200 feet from here, hate crime. So, I mean, it's real. These things exist in our city and needs to be addressed.
No, I mean, you're right all the way. And the thing of it is that when you talk about public safety, it is very wide ranging. It can mean different things for different people, as you said. I also think too that this is exactly why when you talk about certain approaches, you have to be able to listen to what people's needs are. They're going to be different in different parts of the city, but ultimately, I think another opportunity to be innovative and bold in the approach, because it's necessary right now when we're talking about, you know, caring for the whole person. When we talk about it from a community perspective, is that there's crime existing because people are still out here on the streets unable to meet their needs. There is a wide range of ways that or reasons why people do the things they do, or why they feel like there's no other option for them. So how are we addressing those things in order to stop that pipeline from happening? So it's about hitting it at the top again and really understanding what are some of the main reasons why people are out here doing certain things that are creating this huge swell of public safety needs. And when you can really center those voices, understand those perspectives, you'll be able to come up with some innovative solutions that are really addressing exactly the root causes of all of this.
Yeah, well, I'll say that Mayor Durkin, our administration, they put $100 million in last year and attempted to put $100 million in this year as well for these innovative solutions through HSD. There was $10 million there through the Mercer block. There was $30 million there. There's $30 million that's in participatory budgeting that will be coming out here. There's another thing. I mean, it's a lot of money that's been put out there on the streets to be able to bolster public safety in our city without a 911 response, and either in right now or upstream. So let's see how hands-on Mayor Harrell's administration is in tracking these investments and making sure that, these things are happening and occurring. It's a lot of great organizations that got money from the city to be able to come with solutions. So, let's see what happens there. We got another slide here real quick. We'll put up the mayor appointed a lot of people, like mayors do when they get in. A few familiar names here, though. On the left there, Davita Briscoe. She's the gun violence prevention liaison. People might remember Davita. She's been here on the show quite a few times. Briscoe is a respected community leader and strategist who will focus on community-driven solutions to address and prevent gun violence, coordinating with local nonprofits, the Regional Peacekeepers Collective, law enforcement, and impacted community members, right? And so that's Davita. So it's good that the mayor has somebody who Davita's definitely, she's been impacted twice. Yeah. Her son was murdered and her brother was murdered. And so she definitely has a tragic, unique perspective there. We'll go ahead and put that slide back up. And then Derek Wheeler Smith, definitely somebody who's been here on Convergence, the Morning Update show, so many times. Derek, he's over at ZYD. We always talk about play the ZYD break. ZYD, he's going to serve as interim director of the Seattle Office for Civil Rights. And it says that he'll focus on implementing the mayor-elect's equity and justice priorities, including the Race and Social Justice Initiative, expanding housing and workforce opportunities, and delivering youth support and mentorship. And Derek is actually the first Black male to hold that position.
Well, those are two names definitely known in community because they have a strong and impactful community connection. And the beauty of it is that when we see people that have been doing the work on the ground for many years now be appointed in these positions, it really does, for me, it gives me a sense of, hope that, they will be able to take their lived experience and their expertise to the next level for a citywide approach. Both of these names, when we talk about Derek Wheeler Smith, we talk about Davita Briscoe, both of them have really shown up in ways that are not just impactful for their own families, but really for so many different families. And the beautiful nature of what they bring, I think for me, is for them to be able to bring their lived experience into the solutions that are going to be created by the offices they're working in. This is a beautiful thing, and congrats to both of them.
Yeah, no doubt. And, you know, I talked to Derek Wheeler Smith when I sent a text message, you know, congratulating. And I made one request of Derek Wheeler Smith while he's there at the Office of Civil Rights, is that if ever again that there is a wholesale violation of the civil rights of the people of Seattle, like we saw from June 1st to June 8th, that if nothing else, the Office of Civil Rights will be present all day, every day to bear witness to what's happening. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's all these laws like civil rights doesn't investigate the police, OPA does, and everything else. But you know what? There's nothing that says the Office of Civil Rights can't bear witness. And I promise you this, if during them Seattle protests, if them city employees, Office of Civil Rights was out there with some neon hats or something like that, people might not have got gas like they did. So, you know, I mean, maybe they can't rechange the laws, but man, I'm for sure when there's a violation, a wholesale violation of civil rights in our city, day after day, the Office of Civil Rights has to be present, if nothing more than to bear witness.
Man, I love that you made sure that was out there, because we kept saying, where is the Office of Civil Rights that entire time? We're talking about civil rights, period, point blank. And so the idea is that now Derek Wheeler Smith will be in this interim director position. You know, he can probably, again, bring some of the insights, the regional approach that they're taking to violence, you know, all of the work that he's done with zero youth detention, really bring that to bear here in this office. And we'll see how it plays out. Again, interim director, but you know what? He really has a lot of experience and expertise to bring to the table.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, you know, I'm just hopeful, you know, and Director Lockhart moved over there to deal with the Department of Early Education Learning with Director Chappelle. This guy, everybody loves it. This guy just stays in his job. I don't think there's anybody. Everybody's like, yeah, you know, we'll move this guy, that guy. Zimbabwe get replaced over at SDIS. A lot of other people get replaced. I think Director Chappelle, everybody's kind of happy what's happening over there with Seattle Promise and everything else. But, you know, I mean, for sure, you absolutely cannot have the name civil rights in your title and not be on the forefront and bearing witness when people's civil rights are violated on the scale that they were here in Seattle. So wishing Derek Wheeler Smith all the best of luck over there at the Office of Civil Rights. Also, that's where the participatory budget is coming out. That $30 million is sitting on over there, $27 million now. So, you know, we'll keep an eye on that. And also we got one, pop the slide back up. This is a name that's new to me, but Jennifer Samuels is going to serve as the chief of staff. And it says Samuels will be responsible for overseeing the workings of the mayor's office, from directing office staff to addressing constituent needs and improving office efficiency. So that's the chief of staff right there.
Well, it looks like we have an opportunity to get to know Miss Jennifer Samuels and see how, you know, again, for me, it's always about building relationship within community. When you have these positions of power, these appointed positions, what are you going to do about it and how are you going to connect? So looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, good stuff. And man, you know, it's 52 already, huh?
Yeah.
I would say this, and maybe we'll talk about this more tomorrow. So we talked about the mayor's key priorities today. So maybe we'll push this to tomorrow to say, what's our neighborhood's key priorities? Yeah. You know, the big three still out there. The big three being the income gap. Black households make $42,500 a year in the city of Seattle. White households make $105,000. Definitely don't want them to make less. We just need to make more. You know, home ownership is constantly in decline here in the Emerald City and across King County. Home ownership is directly related to generational wealth, and more and more of our young people are pressing reset, you know, every generation. And of course, the education gap. Now they're doing some work over there at Seattle Public Schools, but you know, it's still a lot of work to do. And so when we this is one thing that's always, sometimes people outside of our community, I might say, think that the only issue in our community is police. And so they make all this noise around police, right? And it's an important issue. But let's just be clear. If right now, magically, there was no issue with police and community in Seattle, my friend, we're still only making $42,500 a year. Our home ownership is still in decline, and there's still a big gap in education. So, you know what I'm saying? For all you guys that are out there, I know police is always the one thing, you know what I'm saying, pops up. But, man, we sitting over here struggling as a community with these big three issues that we've been talking about now for maybe 3-4 years, Trey Holiday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is, again, why I think community solutions have been so integral in my world, because I've seen what can be done when you take people that are at the root of these issues and you make them the center of the solutions. Listening to community, having community sessions where they're involved in design, doing human-centric design so that all of the buildings that are being built in a community are really for the benefit of the people that are there, or historically were there. These are the kinds of innovative approaches that I think need to be scaled up on a wide scale basis. And again, you're right. I mean, there's so much we can dive in there. I hope we do breach that discussion tomorrow, because it is going to be necessary for us to talk about it from a community centric approach.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break right now. We're going overtime, but we got to get a few things in here. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
Yo, and ho. It's Jake from Converge Media here. You know me. I've been getting it outside in some tropical environments lately, but I'm home for the winter and wanted to pass along some tips from the Seattle Department of Transportation to help all of us in these cold weather months. When it snows and we got to bet it will, be a good neighbor. Clear your sidewalks near your home, business, or job site. Keep those paths wide enough so a giant like me could walk through them. If you don't have to drive, then don't. Take it from me. I'm a public transit connoisseur in the city. You can get around by bus, light rail, or streetcar all over the region. And when your feet do hit the street, make sure that you slow it down a notch. I'm telling myself this as we speak. Roads and sidewalks can still be slick. If you need more helpful hints, visit the winter weather page at www.seattle.gov/transportation/winter-weather. Stay safe, people. Chill so you can enjoy the chill.
We invite you to be our guest at Disney's Beauty and the Beast. It's a tale as old as time in a brand new production by the Fifth Avenue Theater. Return to the magic of live theater with one of the most enchanting musicals of all time. Disney's Beauty and the Beast at the Fifth, January 12th to February 6th. Tickets at fifthavenue.org.
All right, welcome back to Morning Update Show. And I'm not even going to go there because we know who the beauty is and who the beast is. Beauty and the Beast coming to Fifth Avenue Theater, man.
Man, you know, I got to say, these live performances and live shows just really take me back to my childhood. And that is such a classic story. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I got to tell you, being even just a couple weeks back now at My Fair Lady, oh, my goodness, the talent and the work that it takes to put on these live performances, as they said there in the commercial, bringing it right back for us. Just phenomenal work all around. Kudos to everybody who's involved. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, good stuff. And we got good news for all of our viewers out there. We're going to be taking you with us. You know, our viewers are doing good this year, huh? See, that's what you get. All this time for support. You know, we're giving back. We're going to be taking some of you guys over there to the Fifth Avenue Theater to see Disney's Beauty and the Beast. And guess what? That's one place. You know, I've been everywhere in Seattle. I've never been inside the Fifth Avenue Theater.
Wow. It's phenomenal. You're going to enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to going with you guys. Really, it's such a treat.
Yeah, no. And I can't wait till you meet Belle. I'll leave it there. I can't wait till you meet Belle.
Exciting.
All right. So, whatchamacallit? Feel Good Friday. We got something. We got one. It says Noni. There it is. You know, so I'm so excited to be here. He's like, I'm back. All right. Well, you can tell us about it.
You know what? Looking forward to Feel Good Friday as always. And this coming Friday, we're going to have Noni. She's going to be in the building talking about the Kwanzaa Awards. For those of you that are connected to the Kwanzaa Awards, you guys have been seeing these nominations that are these finalists that have been coming out. Oh, I saw you on the list and I was on the list too. And we'll see how it plays out, man. On the 8th, they're going to actually be doing the final awards and giving those awards out.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like somebody, I mean, not like, oh, I can't believe somebody nominated me, but yeah, I mean, that was interesting. And yeah, the Kwanzaa Awards is really dope. You know, I really like how Noni is doing this whole thing. This is it's very well thought out, very professional. Even her interaction with Converge, you know, is at a very high level. Came here and shot all these segments and everything else. And so, yeah, I mean, it's really good. Kwanzaa Awards. That's on the 8th, and Noni's going to be joining you for Feel Good Friday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to sitting down with her and really understanding all the work that it took, because it's not easy when you receive a bunch of nominations and you got to whittle it down. So I'm looking forward to diving in deep on some of the behind the scenes with the awards.
Yeah, I got one award in the last 12 months. You got a lot of awards.
What?
Yeah, you got a lot of awards. You know what I'm saying? I got an award. Very thankful to Washington State Association for Justice. You know what I'm saying? Which was really dope. We're up there at Columbia Tower. That's it. So, you know, just to be nominated, like, I just want people to know, like, man, I really take that as a big deal. Like, man, I got a nomination. So.
You know what? Me too, because really, again, it's the recognition of real community members out there that are like, wait a minute, you're doing something special. And I got to say, I was shocked too, because I got the award for Kujichagulia, which is self-determination. Hello. And it's also on my birthday, December 27th. So all around, I was like, what? I saw that come through. And Noni was very professional, gave me a personal phone call to make sure I knew that I was nominated and became a finalist. Just looking forward to how all this plays out, to be honest. I'm a little bit like, for the 8th. I'm excited.
All right, good stuff. So before we get out of here, I think that last one we're going to save till tomorrow so you can introduce it, okay? All right, so before we get out of here, man, I was fortunate enough, one, because I beat the Snowmageddon that was at SeaTac, but I was fortunate enough to get out of here Christmas Eve, and I landed in Raleigh, North Carolina around 1 a.m. on Christmas morning, and I made that drive over there to Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and I was able to catch up with my dad and my bonus mom, Paulette, and spend Christmas Day there in Rocky Mount. And man, it was one of the best Christmases ever. And, you know, I told these guys, I said, you know, viewers, they're concerned about you. You know, Paulette, she had stage 2 breast cancer. My dad, he had a stroke. I'm like, man, the viewers want to know what's going on. So here's their update.
Go ahead and share the blessing of how you are doing.
Well, so far, I am now considered a cancer survivor. The tubing has been removed. Cancer took up 20 months of my life. And now I can go. I was supposed to be getting a surgery before that, so now that's back on. And so far, it looks pretty good. We've come through a lot. Chemo is no joke. Radiation is no joke. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But hey, we got through. I'm still here. Same for him.
Yeah, I feel fine. You know, a little, how would you put it? Probably need to catch up on a little more energy, but I'm excited. I got all of my typing skills back, so some of you will be getting newsletters and Wednesday prayers and Breakfast with the Saints and a number of other things that I write all the time for the church, so those will start back up probably the first of the year. But I'm excited. I'm excited about life. I'm excited about moving around and doing things. You know, after having a stroke, it's amazing how God can still work and change your life. Blessings to each of you.
All right, good stuff.
Blessings to you.
One last thing here.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't trying to keep you. You got any good words, any advice for anybody moving into 2022?
Yes, the same thing that I tell you and everybody else. To do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before your almighty God. Stop hating and start loving. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Ditto what he said.
Y'all the best.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and have a prosperous new year. Now, prosperous doesn't have to mean a whole lot of money. But if you come out in your right mind and you come out feeling happy with your life and your family is together, you have prospered. I wish that for all of you.
All right.
Oh, what a beautiful message from bonus mom Paulette and Papa. Let me tell you, it's always beautiful to see them on camera, but especially after what they've gone through, you know, coming out as a cancer survivor, your father being able to recover from a stroke and working on it. I love how he said that. Y'all gonna be getting those newsletters and those Wednesday prayers. You know, he's been so consistent, and what a blessing for you to be able to be there with them. Beautiful all around.
Yeah, it was one of my best Christmases in a long, long time. Also, it was like 73 degrees every day there in Rocky Mountains. It was nice and sunny. I was watching.
Don't rub it in. Oh, don't rub it in.
I was watching Grab Brought stories, and it was frosty out here. Speaking of Grab Brought and my dad, though, so Jake is actually going out there on Wednesday. He's going out there to Rocky Mount, North Carolina on Wednesday. We're actually working on a story, the history of the Facts newspaper. And, you know, a lot of people my dad was a staff reporter there at the Facts newspaper, and then culminated a relationship with Mr. Fitzgerald Beaver, rest in peace. And Mr. Beaver helped my parents start Salisbury Photography. And so we're telling the story of the Facts. We're talking to Marla as well and a bunch of other people, and the Washington State Society, Black Heritage Society, and it's going to be an amazing story. So Jake's going out to North Carolina on Wednesday and Thursday, and he's going to be interviewing my dad for the story.
Beautiful history. And to be honest, this is exactly what gets me really excited when I think about the history of our community, was the love and the connectivity. These photos always remind me of that. And then stories like that just cement it all, man. They affirm it.
All right, Trey Holiday. We went a little overtime today, but it feels good, right?
It's a feel-good Monday for us.
There it is. Before we get out of here, any last words?
So consistent and the same for me, you guys. See yourself as a part of the solution. As we've talked about it here, you know, solutions are better off when we have a wide range of perspectives that are involved in the core elements of that solution. We need you guys to step up, and show out for 2022 and beyond. Find a way for you to become a part of some amazing solution that's necessary for all of us.
All right, good stuff. I see we got an email in here from Jamie over there at City Hall. It says that Mayor Harrell is going to be sworn in tomorrow at 11 a.m. over at City Hall. On that note, man, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for joining us. First day back of 2022. I want to give a big shout out to Salman Abu Kwashi, our amazing director of the Morning Update show, and of course the very amazing Jake Grab Brought. And you know what I'm saying? This is we got a great team here. You know, a real great team. All right. On that note, let me remind you, go forward in your purpose, go forward in your humanity. And until tomorrow at 11 a.m., peace.
Lift every voice and sing till earth in heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise.
that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day.